I'm not a huge fan of this gun, but I cannot deny its popularity, and there's a lot of people that swear by it, and that's the Umarex Sig Sauer 522 SWAT. Now, for me, at one stage I was looking at buying a Umarex 22, that was the HK416, but the more research I did into them, and this is across the board of Umarex 22 rifles, they're not the best quality. They're not the easiest to work on, not the easiest to maintain, and the reliability certainly isn't up there compared to the other guns in this list. Now, the Sig Sauer 522 seems to have escaped all of that, seems to have a very, very good following, and as I said, a lot of people that speak very highly of it, because with the SWAT model you have that quad rail, you can put a lot of stuff on there and hone it in and put all the accessories that you want to. It does run at £649 or £650, that's for the SWAT version. The normal version is quite a bit cheaper, and again, that's another point why it's number 5, £650, which is getting close to some of the other rifles and is more than some other rifles on this list, and I just don't think it has the quality there. What you're paying for is the name Sig Sauer being on that rifle. Now, moving on to number 4, this is a gun that isn't meant for sort of practical shooting, it isn't meant as an AR style rifle, but can easily be tuned in for practical shooting and turned into an AR15 as such, and that is the Ruger 1022. Now, I don't really need to talk a lot about the Ruger 1022 because any shooter worth their salt will either have one of these guns, or either have one of these guns on their list to buy, or will just accept that it is just one of the best 22 rifles, semi-automatic rifles out there. The accessories out there are endless. You can turn this gun into anything you want. You can hone in absolutely every aspect of the rifle to what you want. And there's a lot of people that I know that shoot mini rifle, shoot practical style of shooting sports and disciplines, and they don't have a lot of money. They can't afford to have umpteen different guns, 9, 10, 12 guns and all that sort of stuff. They can only afford to have a couple or 3, and the Ruger 1022 is brilliant for that because it's a renowned gallery gun. You can go and enter a serious gallery competition and have good chances of success with a Ruger 1022, and then you can maybe hone it in for more practical, or you can go hunting with it, you can just go plinking with it. It's such a versatile rifle. Yes, it might not be the best platform out there for quick shooting, fast shooting, but it certainly keeps up with all the other rifles at a considerable cost saving, which makes it number 4 on the list. Now, number 3 is probably going to be the most divisive on this list, and does very nearly come tied with the number 2, but again, because of price, it knocks it down a little bit, and that is the Spikes Tactical ST22. In the UK, people will know that they're sold by Northwest Custom Parts, and I cannot argue that the Spikes Tactical 22 rifles are brilliant guns. They have a really devoted fan base. I think they feel the gun doesn't get as much respect as it should do, and I do have to be careful because I will be lynched by this group of people if I say anything bad. Now, the gun itself, yes, if you want a proper, built from the ground up, mil spec, proper metal AR15, then you can't go wrong with the Spikes ST22. Yes, there's other guns out there that do feel a little bit cheaper. They perform exactly the same, but they don't have that proper AR15, that proper weight of the gun feel, and the Spikes Tactical does offer that. The issue is that it performs, and as you'll find out in a minute, it performs just like number 2 and number 1 in this list. It doesn't do anything differently. It's not more reliable, it's not more accurate, it's just maybe a little bit better built, maybe feels a little bit better to handle, but you're paying quite a premium for that. And I just think there are guns out there that offer exactly the same quality and performance and reliability, but at a much better price point. Now, moving on to number 2, it is the CMMG Mark IV 22 semi-auto. Now, This, at one point, I would have said was exactly tied. The older versions were exactly tied with the Spikes Tactical, but the Mark IV came out with all the improvements. They had sorted all the reliability issues that they had at an unbelievable price point. You can pick these up for £800 to £900. Again, that is the base price, but it already comes with that quad rail, and it's already more of a gun that I would want to go for, and you'd have to spend less money on it. So even buying all your bits, you're still going to be getting a great rifle for under £1,000, which for me beats the Spikes Tactical. If you're a regular viewer of my videos and you've been watching and subscribed to the channel for quite a long time, this number one isn't going to come as any surprise. And as I said, I am a Smith & Wesson 1522 owner, and no, I don't think I'm being biased, and I just think it is the best semi-22 AR15 style gun out there, the best practical 22 you can buy on the market for a variety of reasons. I don't think there's any gun, any 22 semi-auto sort of practical style rifle that's more reliable than the Smith & Wesson, that performs as well as the Smith & Wesson. There are ones that obviously are perform exactly the same, but there's nothing out there that I think performs better. Yes, you can say that there are guns that are higher quality, certainly the Landtac and Spikes Tactical, they are, I would say, higher quality rifles, but in terms of performance, in terms of all the things that actually matter down the range, you're never going to notice a difference. And obviously the big thing with this is the price. You can pick up a Smith & Wesson for Smith & Wesson 1522 for under £600 new, and then obviously going second hand you can get ones that are even cheaper, and obviously that's the second cheapest gun on this list, and yet it's one of the best. And Smith & Wesson have just brought out the new sport model, myself included. There's a lot of people seriously considering selling their old one and buying the new sport. It's just been improved. The handguard on it is it's so nice. It just holds in your hand so well.